Yeah, it's saying I'm
One.
live.
Now we are.
Oh, wow. So there's the time delay. Hi, everybody. Uh, we've had an interesting time this morning because technology being what it is, and I have been using my setup stuff here at Port Elliot a little bit, and all I've got is 100 gig data allowance. And I realised last night, oh, this is going really, 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 really slow. Must be a problem with the computer. And then I realised, oh, maybe I've gone over my data allowance, which with the company that I use, you get put on a go slow. And it's like not just slow, it is really, 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 really slow. And I think that's what I've actually
Snail
done.
pace.
Yep, even slower than snail pace, I tell you. Um, so it's been interesting. I'm just actually putting up my Facebook. So how do I check the? I can't on the. I'm on the wrong one. I don't know. I'm trying to get the iPad one up so I can see comments because I don't see them on the back end of this, do I?
Yes. Oh, I don't know
With
about the
from
iPad, but you
yours,
should.
me as a guest. Yeah, me as a
Yep.
guest.
Usually you
So I'm.
should, but
Oh no, I'm doing something wrong here. Oh, I don't know. Look, I think I'll forget about that.
it's
I'll turn
often
the
up as they
iPad
come
off. All the iPad is
up.
doing now is being the leaner for my mobile phone. So that's how I'm coming to you this morning is as a guest through Leanne's BeLive.tv into mytimetv.live, and here we are. Now, what I'm actually going to do is remind people who are watching, because there may be some cross posting or not, we're not sure.
There
If
is.
you're on a different page, make sure you're on the mytimetv.live page so that when Leanne is actually looking at that back end at the comment stream, that she can see your comments and your questions, and then maybe be able to put them up on the screen for us to see. That's right, isn't it,
Yeah,
Leanne?
that's right.
Yes.
So can you see the
Yeah.
comment up there now
I
on the
can see
screen?
Monica's as a good morning. So, good morning,
Yeah.
Monica. And that's
I'll
the
just
only
go through the
one.
good
And
morning.
Jody, yes, hello, Jody.
Yeah.
And Cheryl, good morning. Now you can add your bits too, Leanne. It doesn't have to be a Ros show. Diana, how are
Okay.
you?
Good morning, ladies. How are you going? I'm just
Hmm.
focusing on the buttons. I love it. So,
It's
and they
oh
are all the mornings, but we have Nita, but Nita also has a question, so we will get to questions in a
yeah,
moment. We've got
yeah.
Sherry.
Hi,
Sherry is
Cherie.
saying,
Cherie,
Sherry,
yes.
sorry, honey. And also Ashton is
Uh,
saying good morning, but there's a question there as well, and she
yeah,
has
hi,
shared.
Ashton. Hmm.
So, yeah, beautiful. So that's all
Yeah,
the hellos we've got for now.
that we've got at the moment. Yeah. Look, it's been an interesting occurrence again of technology. It's one of those things that as I was chatting with, is the comment still on the screen in the live stuff? Because I've got nothing on, I'm not going to monitor, I'm just concentrating on the mobile phone
Yep.
and what I'm seeing as a guest. So you'll need to yell out, Leanne, if there's anything I need to shut up about or bring up or otherwise.
I'll bring them up as they come. So we've got a few questions coming through,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we'll get to them in a
Um,
moment.
Yeah, with the technology, I'm finding because I have been online, literally, well, on a computer in front of a screen since 1982, when they first became useful as a personal business tool. I took up the gadgets straight away, and so I was typing in the programs and all of that right from the start with an old microbee. Well, at the time it was new. And I look at the speed really with how fast development there's been with the technology and how much more convenient and useful it's become in working and running business, but also in our everyday lives because you see so much else that's taken up the gadgetry and the convenience of using technology, like the fridges that'll read what's in your fridge and give you a shopping list of what's missing for your menu plan and all sorts of stuff. And that's a computer on a fridge. What's the other types of things? There's just so many, in our cars, the GPSs, all that we've got as far as our technology goes, and doing this live streaming, the convenience and the ease of being able to go live and share our message with the world or share other people's messages and learnings, because it is all absolutely interconnected and interactive now. But when it does go wrong, you sort of think, oh, panic, I can't live without it. Can you? Like, really? Can you?
It's really interesting, you can. Yeah.
You can, but it probably does feel like an addiction that's gone cold turkey in getting off it. I know for myself, if I haven't, as far as this internet connection and looking at a screen, for myself, I'd have a hard time in really totally cutting off, knowing it was going to be a stretched out section of time, like for a week. Oh, gee, knowing it has a limit, probably I'd be able to cope with that. But it's how much it's become so integrated in our lives, in everyday things like our banking, like our economy, like our go to shop and pay for things with a plastic card, the details we have when we go to our medical centres, and your whole health record can be on a card, or, well, the access through a magnetic strip to the data that is, I suppose it is actually stored on the card itself. I don't know, is it?
I think it is through the chip, isn't it, a lot of the stuff?
So all of that is actually on the card itself. So when you lose the card, well, someone else finds it, they'd still have to have PIN numbers and all that, wouldn't they?
Yeah. You've got the extra security things, but if you got the PIN numbers and stuff, they'd be able to access it.
And it's still so much that we have connection to that is so totally reliant on electricity for starters, because you've got to have electricity or power to run all these things and keep them charged up, because using a phone with this sort of stuff, I've actually got, have I? I thought I did. No, I don't. I thought I had it plugged in. It's the iPad I had plugged in. I had to plug in the iPad because that was getting low. And then I realised that the iOS isn't supported by Studio 2. Then I had to get my phone out. It's all these things, this process of thought to get this happening this morning as sharing with you people. And I love it.
Yeah.
I'd miss it if I couldn't do it. But can you do without it? We need to think about that. And what would we actually do if things really crashed and we had no power at all for a month or more? What would you do?
People would go nuts, I think.
Yeah.
I actually took time Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and made myself or forced myself not to actually get on the computer. So I think I did about twice, but they were get what I needed to do, get off. Yeah. There was no Facebook, there was no answering messages and stuff like that. And even with the phone, I was a little bit like that as well. I sort of set my boundaries. I needed my space because, as a lot of you can imagine, that like everybody's job, you always got somebody wanting something, or somebody's needing to contact you, or there's questions or whatever. So I just went, I need me for a moment. So it was weird doing that, but it's also been weird getting back into it, because now it's like these big long lists of clients I've got to get back to and book in and answer questions and stuff. So it goes a bit crazy. Talking about technical issues, we are still having one here in the background. The feed has filled up and will not scroll.
Okay. I'm still trying to turn off my iPad. It still beeps at me, sorry. Yeah,
it's not scrolling. No, so I can bring up the probably 6 or 8 questions that we have on the screen. Then I may need to try and refresh the page. I can see on Facebook that questions are still coming up. So it is a little bit of a technical issue that BeLive have had this last week. So sometimes by refreshing the screen, it will help. But I think if I refresh the screen now, I'm going to lose the first lot of comments.
Okay, so if I go in and actually try to get my Facebook up and the MyTimeTV oh God, that's a nice flower. Sorry, it's the news feed that I get. I've got to find where actually, because I don't use the iPad very much for what I do. It's more for watching the videos and stuff, not doing Facebook and the business stuff. From the looks of it, I'm probably going to need to, while I'm away from the Mac, get used to using the iPad and finding out how things are, where they are.
It's a different world on the iPad.
There. It is. And I've got to turn the volume right down, and I really need to find where the comments come up. How do they? When I'm doing that.
Right-hand side.
Yeah. It's... because the video itself is live, so I don't need to be watching the video itself.
You can't scroll past the video. And then
sorry to those who are very supportive of us having to do all this sort of muck around. Look, I'll share it. See, what I'm trying to do, as you're able to watch me, see, I'm there, and so where do I do what? When I hit that, that's full screen. So that's a delayed factor of us online, which will be a bit weird for people there watching. Do I just go back to that? No, see, that comes up with what my feed is in the video streams.
Yeah.
Or
well, if you go back to that with the feed.
Oh, look at that.
There's
I like that mirror effect.
I can see through me on my screen.
So that's... Yeah, well, I've put it back round to me. If it works, is it going to work? I'm hopeful not to be mucking around too much that I actually end up cutting myself off like I did 1 minute before we were going live.
She turned going, okay, breathe. We'll wait a minute.
Oh, that's not going to come up with the comments in the background. Oh, look, I'm just going to turn the whole thing off. I'll just say bum.
Unless you go back to the news feed and you click on comments on the news feed.
Well, it should be there in my notifications that we're live here, and I've just got it as a comment, and I should be able to have it come straight up into the live section comments, but I don't know how to do that.
You're on landscape. What if you put it on straight up and down horizontal?
Because I've got the plug on one end it's not going to let me reach while I'm charging it, which is a bummer. Yeah.
So maybe if people know how to use the iPad and do it, you can instruct us.
Oh, sorry. This is so funny. I mean, it really is. I mean, Adair does tell us LOL is learning out loud. It is learning out loud. It is just, it's not play. Yeah, lots of love. It is learning out loud with lots of love. And certainly some laughter, because what else can you do? I'm not going to blubber in front of anyone. I don't panic. That's silly.
It's no use panicking. It just makes things worse. So
this is a bit weird though. How can I get it? It should come up with just the comments, shouldn't it?
You would think. Unless the comments might run underneath. I don't know.
All of the iPad's supposed to be swiping left, right for stuff, isn't it? Or Facebook. Anyway, won't be doing it. You just bring up the comments, what you can with what you've got. If we have to refresh, we have to refresh, and that is it.
And it only takes a second. But I have learned by refreshing, it restarts the count on this end, but it still keeps the broadcast connected. So, but I do think I will lose the screen of comments I have at the moment. So I have put the first comment up, which is Nita saying, "Morning, ladies. Hope you're both well. Shared the love. Start my new job this week. Will it go well?" I have a positive feeling about it, honey. So I do feel yes.
Yeah. I'm feeling the same too. So yes.
Beautiful. So just go in there, be yourself, and everything will be fine is the reference I get with that. Okay. So next we have Ashton, and she's saying, shared, good morning, Ros and Leanne. Would really love to know how many kids I will have and when and if boys or girls. I have a 7-month-old daughter already and absolutely in love with having a little human.
Little
I love
humans.
it. Beautiful. Do you want to go first?
That's lovely. Well, I'm sensing 3 and one of each as the next what's coming still. That's what my sense is telling me. But here's me. I love putting self-doubt on myself. Which, actually, thinking on that, yesterday I had an absolutely fabulous geomancy reading from Lisa Drury. I really enjoyed the process. I absolutely loved the reading, the style of it, and it's reading with stones on a cloth.
Yeah,
It's fantastic. Loved it.
Yeah.
And I've got it. What it basically was telling me, look, as far as what abilities and creativity and everything that's ahead, I've got to stop doubting myself. And here's me, first chance to really trust and know that what I'm saying is right. Correct myself, put in that but, and that was one of the things that was a Saturn thing. Whoops, hang on. I am not to touch the phone. I went to move it. I'm not going to touch it. I went and put it flat on its face. So sorry about that. So that's what my sense is. And there's a lovely message on the cards of the rider, which is you'll get a message soon around that question too. So I would expect, I'm actually feeling you're probably very close to being pregnant again.
So my senses on that was 3 children in total, and I was picking up 2 girls and a boy. So I do feel like I've got a second daughter before the son comes. So I want to say youngest will be a son. All right, so beautiful, and I get excitement around that too. So you will have to let us know, Ashton, if there's pregnancy news very shortly. That would be lovely.
Mm-hmm.
So excellent. Next we have Monica saying, shared, my marriage hit a big hurtful bump in the road. Is the marriage salvageable, or will my husband stay changed for the good? I get it actually could go either way still. There goes the phone again. I love it, Ros.
Oh, yes, I did. I touched it. I couldn't help it, sorry.
She's away from the children. You're supposed to look with your eyes. I love that. So, sorry, Monica, focusing back on you and on the serious question. I actually feel at the moment it could go either way. It comes down to the communication. So I do feel that it is really important to open up and to be able to communicate between the two of you with that side of it. I do feel there is still something very strong there to fight for. So my feeling is at the moment you're in that period where you could go either way, but it's all going to depend on how it plays out now. All right. So look at the communication, open up. I know there's a lot of pain and hurt there, but that needs to be spoken, but also be heard from both sides of the point of view with that. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not just or none.
Is that clear?
Yeah.
The card is the mountain, and with mountain, with any mountain range, you have the hills and valleys, and what that's actually showing there is, I'm going to do that. Does that still show up clearly that way? No, I don't have to be in it.
Yeah.
It's the hills and valleys. It is the challenges. It's the blocks in the road. So it's describing that type of what life is, all of those journeys and paths that we actually do have as part of our overall life, as well as just what's happening at the moment. I was feeling, yes, definitely salvageable. What my eye went to as I'm reading this question is, will my husband stay changed for the good? Confirming for me, it is the communication, like Leanne said, but no one else can change someone else. It's only each of us as individuals that decide who will be, how we'll be, what our actions and reactions and all of that will be. So in the communication with each other, in relationship with each other, and it's not just in a marriage, it's business relationships, it's parent-child relationships, it's friend relationships, it's any way that you're communicating with another person, that we do each decide what information we're going to take in as our truth and what we'll decide will change our own behaviours and beliefs about and around. And that's where that really does come back to the communication, but it's also allowing the other to make their own choices, because ultimately you can't make it for them. You can't say you're going to change to somebody else and expect that to happen. It's their responsibility, not yours. Only one you can be responsible for is you and how you love and act in any particular situation, and understand it for what you need in your pathway as well. So all the blessings for that, because what I did feel is, yes, certainly it's salvageable, and what we experience in each part of our emotions, our joys, our sadnesses and everything, it really is building us towards what we've got next as part of our journey.
Yeah, it's so important to remember that too. So, excellent. So, wishing you all the very best, Monica, as well. So, next we have Barbara saying, "Share the love. Good morning, lovely ladies. Can you see my finance situation getting better? Same. Okay. I get focus on what it is that you need and what you need to be happy and balanced, honey. So, I just get." There's a little bit of negative energy around that at the moment, but that's where the thought process is going into that negative side of it. So I do feel that things will pick up. Okay.
And we have, I've got notifications on my iPad and it keeps beeping at me. So if you can hear it, my apologies. I can't turn it off. I can't find how to. The paths. It's the two different paths. So it could be one way or another, like duh. What I thought as I saw your question as a financial situation getting better soon. What actually is your definition of better? Do you want absolutely mega bucks to live in absolutely slimy riches and all the rest, or feeling comfortable in what you can choose to do in life, or just to cover the bills, instead of being on your ass type thing with money and forever worrying about it? Release all those expectations of what you want your money to do. Financial situation, it's just energy of money. It's what we do use as our tool, and choose which you really want to use. Do you want to use, have it being the focus in your life, or do you want to have other things be the focus and the money support you? And that's when you shift that perspective. You'll find things will move forward for you in a way that the money's supporting you, not you trying to forever fight to have the money support you, if you get what I mean. There is a difference.
Yeah, there is. And it's always the same, like when we put our mindset into, like our focus onto something, we are going to keep bringing that energy. So if we're focusing on the bills and what we don't have, that's the energy you're bringing in with it. So, and that's for everybody. It's not just Barbara. So focus on what I have, what I need, like what I see, what you need coming in, and it'll be more positive in that way. So excellent. Next we have Cheryl. Hey, gorgeous. I'm looking forward to catching up for a coffee. I think that's next week. Just a question. Do you think vibrational, oh goodness, I've got, do you want to read that one?
Yeah.
I've only got half a comment here.
Do you think vibrational modalities will be widely accepted by the West as it is in the East? Personally, I practice a lot of the vibrational modalities. I'm sure Leanne does too. I'm sure you do too. will it be widely accepted? I think the balance is going to come to a point where it will tip in favour of, but and that's where I think that the earth energy is trying to find its balance. And it's not that there's a competition needed between the East and West. I think it's more that we need to feel comfortable in our own energies of understanding what we ourselves have within us as our potential to heal ourselves. Whether it is following an East or a West style, they're just modalities. They're all vibrational in their forms, but some have a lighter feel about them than the heavier feel of allopathy to me. I prefer myself to follow through with the more meditative style of understanding what I need and then putting that into process of whether I go for a massage or Reiki or a reading, because even the readings, in understanding with your mind what is around you as your energy, that in itself is a healing factor too. So it's vibrational. The whole of the earth is vibration. So
That's it.
it's already existent.
Yeah, for sure. And I think as time's going on, more and more people are opening up to that vibrational energy.
The awareness of it's coming forward, yeah.
The awakening.
Yeah, and I think that's probably a good word for it. And the energy moves. There you've got ship is about movement.
Yeah, so moving forward. Excellent. Ros, would you like to keep talking? I'm just going to drop out, refresh my screen, and let's see if I can get these comments going. If not, I can read them off Facebook. So if you'd like to just keep talking for a sec.
Well, with all the vagaries of the technology, it's really interesting in having the style of thinking of, what child compared to what the current grandchildren are having as children. Because and I suppose that was part of what came to my mind as my technology was starting to, it's not failing, but on a real go slow like I've had this morning, and realising, okay, there's limitations on the data that I've got available here because that's my plan at the moment. And then translating that into,
I can't hear Ros.
Oh, you can't hear me? Oh, I can
still hear me, Ros?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can't hear you.
So here's technology again.
Let me just play around here for a second.
Is there any comments coming up that
was me
that people can
Ros.
hear
I'll just
me?
Unmute Ros. All right.
And put the comment, and I'll just go for the moment.
It could be in my card thing. Keep talking, Ros. I just can't hear you. I think they can,
They can, yeah. That's what we need confirmation of in the comment stream, if you could, please, yeah. And that's, here's the technology. I was brought up in the era of time where what we had was the ring dial phone, where you had to do a finger in a hole and dial it round to a point that created a pulse.
And that's how I can't hear you.
The connection. So you still can't? Do you need to refresh again, or do I need to drop out? Ask those in the stream. Can you comment whether you can hear Leanne?
I will put that up for you to do, and I will drop back out and come back in. I'll try again.
Yeah.
Okay,
well, it
so if you'd like to, can you see that question?
Yeah, I can. Julie, if you can hear me, how are you? And you'd like
You're
to
staying connected, I'm not.
Yeah, that's all right. I've got it, Leanne. Oh, that way. Whoops. And, whoa, there's one. I'll try and place that way so that I'm at least in the view this time. Now, that's the cloud as the card for you. With upcoming surgery, I'm feeling what you've got, and I've got to do two hands here. what you've got there is the shadows and clouds of whatever is being operated on, and it's going to move to the light. I've always interpreted the cloud card as moving from dark to light. I think one day when I get some practice at doing a grand tableau, that might be a bit different because you do read the cards how they fall in that. But this is, to me, an indication that, yes, whatever is being operated on, whatever your surgery, it's freeing your body to be the beautiful, bright, shining, healthy body that it's intended to be as far as what our lives are. We are meant to be healthy beings. We are meant to have good health to do what we're here to do. So hopefully that is enough information for you.
I can't seem to hear you, Ros. I'm not too sure why.
Do you want me to drop out? Do the team chat. Can you do the team chat? Where's that? I don't think I can initiate that. Can you? Do I need to come back in?
I'm not. Let me put up another question for you, hun.
Are you still getting comments in the stream? Obviously you are. Right. Hi, Kerry Ann. You're worried about your mum. She's terminal and the doctors are sending her home. I'm worried, needing guidance, please.
Gotta love technology.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to join in with no volume. How's that sound?
Yeah.
You guys can
That's
obviously hear me. I can't hear Ros, but I can certainly still.
Look,
the thing has frozen, but I do have a lot of new comments as well here.
I'm just wondering if I should drop out.
Did you want to do Kerry Ann's?
Yeah, I'll do Kerry Ann's. I'll just do this. Actually, instead of the card, I'm not going to use the card for this one. Doctors have their skills, knowledge and expertise, and they give us advice around what they know. Most doctors actually have their training and learning heavily pharmaceutically based, heavily allopathic based, and not really as much into the energy healing modalities.
Oh, I can hear you now.
Therapies.
Oh, no.
Oh, good. Yeah. So, for
I
you,
turned on the
Kerry-Ann,
play on Facebook.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so that's how you're hearing me.
If I play this,
it'll be delayed. Yeah, it'll be delayed.
Oops, sorry.
Remember that 10 to 15 second delay, Leanne? So you'll get this 10 to 15 seconds after I've said it now.
Sorry. Do you need another comment?
No, I'll finish with Kerry Ann's.
Yeah.
The doctors, greatly skilled, and they do know their stuff. But I think really it's the understanding in a deeper way of what death actually means for people. It is final for a lot of people where they don't believe there's anything after. When helping support your mum in those final days, months, whatever time she has left, it's the understanding that we all do die. We all go somewhere else. It's not the end. You know within yourself that you feel a soul. You know that you've got heart there and soul, and it's the same for each and every one of us. Take that feeling and that belief in self that that's what's going to happen for mum, and there is the other place that we go. I call that home rather than here home. We are borrowing our learning time here on earth for where we are at our original home of source.
Now my doorbell's going.
I love the doorbell.
It's not my client. It shouldn't be. Can I just check that if you want to keep talking?
I'll keep going. I'll move on to Diana. I've got Diana there still.
Goodness,
so Kerry Ann, hopefully love and accept where your mum is at. Be the loving support that you need to be as she moves and transitions to going home. And Diana, how are you? So you're studying in the hopes of going into work within the industry. Do you have any thoughts on this? Now, what industry? You haven't been specific. I'm assuming it's the energy-based, the more etheric style of work, and Leanne's left volume on. I can hear Leanne's background. That's so funny. So I'm just going to draw a card for you. Look, I think where you're being led to do your study and you feel strongly that that is your home base, it feels like your home in that study, continue on with it. And what card I've got with you, look, it'll bring up, you're going to do more than just the one style of modality in the end. You've got more study to do. It's the many faces of who you are being expressed through your study, through what you actually end up doing as
Ros,
the practice.
do you want me to start a new show? Like, I end this and then I just jump straight back into a fresh one?
Well, I suppose so. I'm open to it. That's fine. I
can't hear a thing here.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Do you want me to come out? What if I just drop out? I'll drop out and come back in first.
All right. Well, maybe you drop out and drop back in and see if that helps. Okay, guys, sorry about the technical issues going on here. It's one of those days. For some reason, BeLive are having issues here in the background. So we'll just give Ros a second, see if she'll jump back in. Once again, I do apologise for this. I've been having issues with the scroll side of things not working, but I am monitoring it in the sidelines. So let me see. All right, we have Rob coming back in. Hey, Rob. Hey, I can hear you. I just bring you up into the broadcast. So sorry about that. I should have thought about you dropping out to start with.
Well, it was either a you or a me. You didn't work twice, so I thought, well, maybe if I drop out and click the guest link again, that would work.
Yep, beautiful. Yep. I do have scroll issues again, but I do have some new questions up here on the screen. So
have we got where we were up to? Had I done the reading for Diana satisfactorily for her? Like, did she want anything else, or did that not go through or be heard?
Diana has commented in the comments a little bit later down, counselling.
Yep.
Does that make sense? Because I can hear what you're saying.
Yeah, it does, because I asked if she's wanting to, she hopes of, hang on, start again. I'm studying in the hopes of going into work within the industry. Do you have any thoughts on this? And I said, industry? Which industry? I'm assuming, and that's how I started answering her question. So I have answered it. She has received that. So good luck in all that you do, Diana, because I do see further expansion for you, not just in the counselling. I'm actually almost feeling that you're probably going to do more of a public speaking type of role in a similar vein of the industry, not just counselling. So what are you, are you seeing that comment, her question as well still, Leanne, and want to add? Or we'll leave
I want to leave it with that because I feel quite comfortable with what you've answered, sort of things. I don't feel like there's anything else I need to add to it. So, but I do feel there is big changes coming, so exciting times with that as well. I'm just looking at the comments coming through. Tony's just let us know that the live does keep freezing, so thank you, Tony, for that. I'm not 100% sure what is going on. I know that BeLive is still doing a little bit of fine-tuning and they're aware of it at the moment. Now, did I bring up Louise before? I know I was just clicking on comments.
No, well, you haven't, as far as she's from Canada. I was wondering if any of my loved ones are around and if they have any guidance for me. No, we haven't done a question for Louise.
Excellent. All right, honey, I get your son, and I feel like I've got a mothering mothering role there with him as well. So I want to say your mum or the grandmother reference is coming through with him. Okay, I get the hand on the heart, and I get there's a lot of joy around you coming. So to me, I get the reference to it's about opening yourself up and allowing that energy to move. Please know there's a lot of love and there is a lot of pride that comes through from spirit. The lady that is stepping in next to your son, what was that, a 10-second?
No, I didn't say anything.
No. Oh, that's a bit weird. Okay, Louise, what I heard your voice go in my ears go, remember that 10-second. So, Louise, what would that mean to you? Okay, so as I was acknowledging the female energy that is with your son, that is what comes through. So I don't know what the 10-second rule was around the mother and the mother energy that is passed over, but I just get the smile and the laughter. So I get this lady is quite, I want to say, a little bit cheeky at times as well. So I get the big smile, the loving energy around her. So I do feel that by being around her or having her in a room, you felt her presence as well. So I don't know if you hear her voice at times, but I just remember the 10-second rule. You'll have to let me know what that means, honey, if that resonates with you. That was just totally weird. I swore that was Ros saying that, and I'm thinking, hang on, Ros's mouth isn't even moving.
No, and yet before, when I was trying to talk to you, you couldn't hear me, and the rest I said, do remember there's that 10 to 15 second thing, and I thought that's what you were referring to.
Oh,
so
no.
A bit weird. Yeah, like you said, it is a bit weird, the cross-reference back to what was our life to what is in Louise's. Yeah. Funny, very
I just
funny.
when you said that, I just checked my screen on the side. It's not like the video is playing, so it's still got Catherine's message up there. So,
no, you've got it there. Oh, Catherine's. Yeah. Oh, that is back a bit.
Yeah, I know.
Because when you said, once you started saying there's what was it? See, I've already started losing track of what was, because that's been dealt with. But as far as you mentioned, there was a young male figure and then the lady. What I've got there, I'm just trying to find if I've lined up right.
Yeah, you're right. I've got you on full screen.
Yeah, it's the masks and the many masks, the many faces that you wear is what I've got coming up for me, as far as the influences around you, but also what influence you're putting out, what message you're putting out too. But I felt I needed to pull the second card. That's lined up, and that's Compass. So I'm feeling that in that too, you're getting this, you're being shown, follow your path, follow your direction, find what your direction is, hone that to being your compass, not everyone else's, like it seems to suggest to me in having those two cards. Hopefully you understand that.
Yeah, beautiful.
And that's what I've got for Louise,
Yeah, exactly. And Louise has just commented she's not sure what the 10 seconds means. So it could be just technology playing with us. But, oh, my God, I swear that was Ros's voice.
I'm in your ear.
You are, literally. Beautiful. Jessica's just saying, hope you're having a good morning. Thank you, honey. Same to you.
Thank you.
As well. And we have Jody. Now, Jody's just wondering, we are thinking of moving again, so I can be closer to work. Can you see that happening, and when? And will we buy or rent again? Thank you. I actually feel like I'm renting once more before buying, honey, and I feel like it's in the next 3 or 4 months in that side of it. So I'm going to say looking late this year. Okay.
Yeah. I actually think it's going to be a hectic Christmas. So, which probably is that 4 months, isn't it? What are we now? September, October, November, December. Yeah, well, it would take it up to the Christmas time, won't it, if it's the 4 months? Isn't it funny how, I'm good at maths and everything, but when it comes to months and dates and things, I've actually got to count them on my fingers. On my hands. Bit silly, isn't it?
It's the timing, isn't it?
And I did get that card for her as well. So Jody, I feel that's don't get so busy that you're just so exhausted that you're not going to be replenishing your own energies. So that's the young lady in the cards. So do look after yourself in the packing, moving, and all the rest of it as well.
Yeah, excellent. Now, I can't actually see this on Nita. We're learning how to cope with the internet. So true. I couldn't see the top of the question. I could only see the bottom. And the other bottom one I haven't done, because I think we did Kerry Ann, didn't I? Well, I was
yes. Yeah, we have done Kerry Ann.
Yeah. And the other one on the bottom of the screen is Julie, and I can only see half hers. Would love a card.
We've done that. We've done that one too. That was the cloud, and that just whizzed out as it was moving. As you put that comment up, it sort of flew across the table. I thought, well, that's moving the energy on. So good on you, Julie.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's moving.
All right. Well, now I have ran out of comments on the screen because it's not going to allow me to do it. So I will just read it straight off. We've got the lovely Jay Lane giving us a beautiful big heart. So thank you,
Hi, Jay. Yeah.
So, guys, we are having some technical issues with the Be Live here in the background, so I won't be able to put the rest of the comments up on screen, so I will read them out. Louise is just saying, thank you, ladies. Love and light to you both. You are very welcome, honey. It's our pleasure. Tony's just saying, Louise, a 10-second rule. Did Mum used to say that when food was dropped on? Oh, there goes the voice again. Oh my goodness. I am actually going to mute that post just in case it is that's doing it. So yeah, Tony's just asking Louise if Mum used to say that about food dropped on the ground. And Peter is just saying, sorry, so late tonight. And Jody is just saying, thanks heaps. There is a lot of comments, and because I am live on Facebook, the Facebook scroll is going slow as well. We've got Trish saying, hi, lovelies from sunny Queensland. Love a card whenever it comes out. So would you like to do that for Trish Brythe?
This was the card that was there ready for the next one that asked for a card. So regardless of the question, it is, oh, hang on, let me have a look at it. 4, it's the home. So that really is about being centered and caring for what is around you, the energy around your home, making it more of what you actually want it to be, not so much for everybody else, but also as your space. I think that's the feeling I'm getting around it. So what are you getting, Leanne? Can you see it where, from what you're looking at?
You might need to go a little bit more in front of you, hun. Yeah. So
that's harder. Yeah.
I get the same. Look at home sort of thing. So it's about the structure, that side of it at the moment. People have to excuse me looking sideways at the other screen. So
it is a very nurturing energy in that card for you.
So, and we're jealous about the sun, honey. Good on you.
Yeah. Although I'm looking out my window and it is bright, sunshiny, and absolutely perfect vista for me.
Yeah.
Actually, I can share that, can't I? Being mobile, if I'm very careful, I can hold that up.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And that's what I'm looking out my window. Perfect.
Lovely. Yeah, we've got a little bit of sun here, but it's still quite cold. I've got my Ugg boots on under the table, so trying to keep my feet warm.
Yes. Yeah, I've done the same.
Yeah, my client's going to get me in Ugg boots this morning. I'm sure she'll have a good giggle with me, so that's okay. We did have a question there that came up on the screen from Louise. She keeps saying beautiful yellow butterflies and everywhere, so she's wondering if that's a sign from Spirit. It possibly could be. I do get, yes, honey, it is a sign from Spirit, and I get it's happening regularly with that. Now, I also want to say, I get the female energy with that side of it, but I always say to people, when you see signs from Spirit, look at where your mind goes first. We've all got the ability to do this. It's about fine-tuning it. So if you see those butterflies and they catch your attention, honey, look at who you think of first. Where does your mind go? And trust in that, okay? Because I just get that there's a female energy around you, and I do feel like I've got an older lady with that, okay? So I'll leave you with that. Did you have anything else you'd like to add to that, honey?
Me? No. No, I've just had a comment pop up on my iPad, which is why I seem slightly distracted. Because and when I hit that, it actually comes up with the chat stream. So now I can see it. Look,
So
there's
remember that
always
the next time.
I need to have somebody come in with a comment so I can. No, next time it should be hopefully from Meningi where I've got the Mac and it should work. So that's interesting that it did that, and I'm seeing there that I've got a comment too from Trish Blythman. That was a recent one. Yeah, I will answer that one in a minute. I can't bring them up,
Lovely.
can I? Have you got that as a
No,
scrolled one or not?
no.
So had we finished with that last one? We had, hadn't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the questions on the side of my page have still frozen. So
Yeah.
I'm just grabbing comments now that are coming up on the Facebook on the side, that side.
Okay.
That
Well,
way.
then I'll grab Trish's. I'll actually hit the light. Well, actually, I'm going to put a little
Yep,
heart
we
against
did.
that one because we're good friends.
Then you know,
And
yeah, we did do Trish.
Trish has yet to make up her mind what she wants to do with her actual home, sell, rent, or Airbnb. So, and I had this card jump out as I was just sort of getting that connection with the Facebook, and I thought, well, that probably is the one that is meant for it, which is the whip. And that's a bit to do with repetition and deciding. What I'm sensing for you, Trish, is to actually, you've got to make up your mind one way or the other, crack the whip, actually get it done, decide, do, and move on with what your choice is. That's what I'm getting. So what are you getting?
I think
from
today's right now is a really good time to make that decision. I'm drawn to Airbnbs. So
I'm feeling it is more of it feels like it's been in the air for so long, well, Airbnb. And certainly with that, do certainly make sure that your insurance is up to scratch with covering that specific way of having your home used. Okay?
Yeah. So beautiful. And we've got Brooke saying, hi, lovely ladies. Do you see us buying within 6 months? I got yes with that, honey.
I'm getting a yes, whatever it was. I'm not looking at the comments. I'm letting you do it.
Yeah. Guys, you're going to have to persevere with us because we are having technical issues with the comments. I can only see comments on the side screen that are coming through on the Facebook page now as well. Thank you, Adair. She's in there just answering people as well. So, and Jay was just, she's ready for bed. Celeste says, wonderful messages. Anything for me, ladies? Would you like to pull Celeste a card?
I'll just do a quick shuffle here.
Just while she's doing that, Julie, I think we did your card, honey. Read me a card. Yeah, so you might have to go back and watch the replay, Julie.
Yeah. Is that the right position?
I'll just put you on full screen. See. There we go. There you're right. Wherever you like now, Ros. That's good.
We can see you. I'll just shift over a bit. The cross, there's something that you're carrying that you don't need to, it's served its purpose. I think it's actually at a point now where you can let it drop. You don't need to carry the cross anymore. The responsibility isn't yours anymore. You can hand it. I'm actually feeling that you're probably needing to be handing it on to somebody else, not just dropping it, but it's something to hand over. The time for you in that involvement is finished. And you've learnt what lesson you needed to as far as the life lessons and the rest goes. And it's time for it to be passed back or handed on. I'm actually feeling a handed on rather than passed back. So someone else can take that load that is able to continue, and it's then their lesson and journey. Okay?
Yeah, beautiful. And okay, honey, to add to that, I'm going to say the focus needs to be on you now, so rather than everybody else as well. So bringing that back around. All right. So beautiful. And we've got Brooke saying, thank you, ladies. Trish is also saying, thank you, lovelies. You are welcome, ladies. And Lily says, hi, ladies. Do you have any insights? So if you could all just, when you ask questions, please try to make them more direct questions rather than general questions as well. So did you want to just pull a card for Lily, hun? I think that's a general.
I'll just do it real quick. Actually, I'll just pull a card. I feel I need to just pull a card. So what is it? Oh, upside down. I could see that even in the reflection on the very little phone screen.
Love it.
because I've got to peek round the corner to see if I've got it lined up well enough. Oh, wow. Now I've forgotten what the question was, but I'm feeling a really good energy. Yeah, look, it's just a really good energy around whatever you're going to be tackling at the moment. So it's bright and light and going to shine that light on the right areas. There's not going to be anything that's left in the shadow with what you're tackling at the moment. So even if it's something that pops out as a surprise to you, deal with it, get it done. Don't push it into the background and into the shadows. That there is the like the old sundial clock type thing. They're Roman numerals for the time of day type of thing. So it's indicating to me that whatever it is that you're doing, you have time to do it. Make sure you make the time to do it. Get it done.
Beautiful. All right, Lily, I hope that makes sense to you, honey. If you like, you can leave some feedback up there as well. So the next question, Celeste just says, thank you so much. You're welcome, honey. Deb says, messages for work or home. Now, honey, I want to say look at work. So I do feel that things are changing up a little bit, but they're positive changes. I get the reference to it's about pushing your boundaries as well. So I actually, over the next couple of months, want to put a little bit more pressure on you when it comes to work, but I get you can handle it at the same time. So look at the opportunities that come up. If it feels right, grab it is the reference I get with that. Okay. Next we have Stacey. Oh, sorry, hon.
No, just a quick thing. It will anchor in. The anchor at the moment, sometimes it takes a little bit for that ground to be found, but it will anchor in.
Yeah, so beautiful.
That's all I had as a message from that one.
Yeah, excellent. And next, Stacey is saying, hi, anything about my health coming through for me? Thank you. I actually feel like it's about bringing balance to your health, hun. So I want to say, look at what it is that you've been holding on to energy-wise, because I get the body is reacting. Now, I'm not getting drawn in just one area. I feel like I've got a few things going on. So I'm drawn to the throat chakra being blocked, whether you get a little bit of a dry sore throat at times, but I also feel like I've got nervous energy around the chest and the stomach. But to me, I'm being drawn at sitting more in your energy field, and it's been something that's been there for a while now. So I get it's the need to release that energy at the moment to be able to let go. All right.
Yeah, and the card that I've drawn is the whip, and the feeling I'm getting around it is it's been, like Leanne said, it's been sitting there for a while. It's time to actually, and it's been repeating because the whip is a bit about repetition as well, but it's time to get it done. Like cracking the whip to me is like the old stock cattle days where you got to get the cattle moving, and that's the tool that was used mostly. It's only the sound that's used. It's not hurting yourself to get it moving or the cattle or whatever. It is gently move that energy in a way that's going to have you doing and looking at that inner what's wrong and knowing it and how to move it, understanding what you actually need to do as well. So you need to spend that time with self to actually get that energy moving, because when it is in your auric fields, because that's how dis-ease comes in, it's into your energy fields first. You need to have that understanding of the lesson, I suppose, really, in getting it to move. So spend that time with yourself as well to have that understanding for your body, what needs to be moved physically as well.
Beautiful. Excellent. All right. We just got Lily saying, thank you, ladies. And yes, it does make sense. You're welcome, honey. And Deb is just saying thank you. Deb, I just feel like hanging in there. Things are going to get better. All right, hun? All right. And I think that's pretty much it without me touching too much and causing other technical issues.
Oh, I've got one there that's just as I whizzed past. Brooke Lyons, hey, ladies, when do you see another baby for me? I see yes, but I wasn't getting a timeline for that one.
I actually see the number 7, so whether I'm looking at 7 months or it's falling pregnant on the 7th month, the 7th of a month. So I do want to say within the next 12 months, definitely. I'm drawing more around the 7 month.
Yeah, look, I think that's all I can see as I'm flipping through very quickly.
Well, we are
I
pretty
think
much
there's a
out
lot
of
with just the
time.
guidance and without going into refreshing my screen too. So, look, it's been lovely having even the little difficulties with technology. They all have the benefit. I mean, anything. It's the way that we look at it. Look, if we wanted to have created a problem around the technology and had, this is a big deal, I don't know, panic, 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 it would have happened that way and you would have been frustrated as people watching and blah, blah. It's really anything, just taking the breath, because Leanne says about it too a lot. I was getting in first this time.
Oh, I love it.
Taking that breath, and it also helped that I did take part in a self-hypnosis meditation workshop on Sunday to refresh my memory around some of the tools that we have at our disposal every single moment of the day, that we can take that time with self, and it is about sitting, taking that breath, like I've said in previous shows and Leanne said in previous shows. And any time that you do that, it is a self-hypnotic state, because you are focusing on your breath, and that in itself is hypnotic. And just letting the tension leave the body, become relaxed, and you can hear more clearly what you have from your inner being the message to you as you're thinking outer being, and creating those thoughts that are going to manifest the positive for you. But even the negatives can be a positive because of what it actually enables in the next step on a pathway of being and doing, and actually living fully into your life. Well, that sounded almost philosophical, didn't it? Like serious.
Yeah, it's so true. We could get frustrated with technology, but what is the use? The program has made some amazing changes, staying up to date. Everything has technical issues. God, we had technical issues with Telstra last week, and we lost the internet for a day and a half with the storm and everything. It's out of our control. So why stress about it? We, focus our energy into something positive. It will be up and running again soon. Tonight, I might just see for our show with my show with Annette tonight, if I can drop back to the old Be Live one sort of thing.
The studio one, effectively. Yeah.
So, it plays around this stuff.
Yeah, well, the original version is still available, and it does still allow very much the same sort of connectivity, at least with that. If you're asking a guest to come in, at least they can have the Apple device and iOS to be able to join in as a guest. I think that's still available on the original version, where it's not in Studio 2. It really is finding out and experimenting, like we sort of had to do, which worked today, what will and won't work. And it's wonderful that we've got such a lovely audience that understands and stays with us and continues sharing it out, because it's very much worthwhile spending this time with people, with you especially. Thanks, Leanne.
Thank you, Angela.
And continuing that. So, I mean, it will be next week on Tuesday, whether it will be back to me doing the hosting from the Mac, or whether we have to go through this again. But not quite the same, because we've learnt from this one what we might be able to improve for the next one. There's the positive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, all right. Well, we're going to say thank you for your patience, and it's been a great day. Namaste. We'll see you next week. Okay.
See you
Bye.
then.
Bye.